BioFuelCell, the world's first power plant for plants. A simple kit that comes in a collapsible box. You can carry it home from the supermarket, you can carry it home from the school, anywhere. This is designed to teach children how to grow food from their waste material. It's a simple design, but boy, it's got some high-tech background behind it. So we take this cardboard. If we were going to design a material to make a compost bin from, cardboard is the ultimate. Its insulation is fantastic. You can see here we're putting a plastic sleeve over the outside. Now that plastic sleeve is UV stabilised. That extends the life of the cardboard by about 5 years. We have an inner liner which makes it nice and easy to keep that clean and white, clear. That also gives some stability and some support, and it just drops in to lock everything together. Create this by just folding the plastic over it and then folding the plastic back down. That means that as the water comes across it, cardboard is protected. These inner sleeves are a very critical part. They change our way of making compost. We have these breathing rods, these biofuel rods, which actually go in. There's one horizontal and there's one vertical. Now the vertical one carries the air down, and as the compost drops down, it allows it to go down. The little breather at the bottom is a horizontal biofuel rod that's allowed to stick out the side. The air coming down through the side vertical biofuel rod allows the air to travel as these cardboard sleeves drop down as the material breaks down. At the end we put a plastic lid over the top. These biofuel rods are kept together just with a plastic band. Now when it comes to putting it in the garden, we actually make our compost in the garden, and we use our kitchen scraps. You can actually use leftover leaves from the garden, but the primary objective of this is to use our kitchen scraps. We put these layers of cardboard, about 100 millimetres deep of kitchen waste, and then we put our biofuel rod on top of the cardboard. The first one is made to stick out at the bottom, and that lets the gases out, because there are some gases that are produced that are heavier than air. And what we do is we seal over the bottom edge of the container of the biofuel cell, and what that does is it means that the air doesn't come out the bottom, so the odour is coming up the top like a chimney, and this is also another deterrent for vermin. Because the biofuel cell is such an efficient composter, it actually cooks the compost. And if you're working 2 biofuel cells in your garden, you can take some of the pre-made material from the other bin and just load it in. Mature material, you're actually inoculating your compost bin. So it's a bit like making yogurt. You can put in a bit of leaf material, you can use just anything that you've got. The idea is that you want to use predominantly your kitchen scraps and those types of material that have got high nitrogen. The beauty of doing it in the garden is you're actually using the native bacteria that are in the garden from the soil by integrating into the soil. And the runoff that's coming off this is actually going back into the garden, and the worms are transporting that out to the plants. You can use all your leftover. It's a bit like a mouth. It's absorbing all the waste material from your garden and being digested like in a bowel. So it's very much like us, how we absorb nutrient. And it's being fed perfectly back into the garden. So we just create a layer about 100 millimetres deep, and put another layer on top. That's putting a little bit of extra old compost in there, which has got a lot of microbes in it. So 1 or 2 layers can be of old compost. Just as easy as that. When you're finished at the end, make sure you put the plastic lid on. It allows the rain just to run over the side and down, and as it travels down the side, it doesn't interfere with the compost.